us on Twitter at twitter.com/achieveradio.
Today, Joseph is with us for double readings and
Hello.
as well. Hi, you sound great today.
Hi. I do. That's
You
great.
have,
Thank you.
y-
I have a new microphone.
yay!
Yay.
Uh,
I can't
that'll
mention the
make you,
brand because they aren't paying me, so
oh, is that how that
they aren't
works?
paying me for a free
Well,
ad, so no.
okay, I need to get out of this. Okay, here we are. Achieve Radio. There.
Yeah, I'm not seeing us in
Oh,
real time here, so it's kind of hard for some reason.
okay. Yeah. For
Yeah.
some reason, we are not on the screen today, and I have us on the Skype screen, but that's about it. I'm also trying to get rid of, for whatever reason, I've got okay, that must be there. All right, there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
today's show, I thought we might discuss. Um, I know that you say that you are using good old soap and water for,
Well, I did find some things on I did find on WikiHow. They even have pictures, wikihow.com/hand make it has hand sanitizer, and you could make it out of alcohol, or you can make it out of witch hazel. Some people, now I do see here, it says here, now they come out and say washing your hands with soap is better, but if you have no soap and water, hand sanitizer is the second to best thing. Commercial hand sanitizer can get expensive, and of course, with the shortage of hand sanitizer due to COVID-19, you may have to resort to making your own. And here's what you do. Method one is for alcohol, and they say you need 2/3 cup of 99% rubbing alcohol, isopropyl, or 190 proof grain alcohol. And it says do not substitute other concentrations of alcohol. It has to be 99%. They say add 1/3 cup pure aloe vera gel, preferably the kind without additives. And they say to add 8 to 10 drops of essential oil, such as lavender, cloves, cinnamon, or peppermint, a mixing bowl, a spoon, a funnel, and a plastic container. And they say here,
so does it,
expert warning. The expert warning is before you make hand sanitizer, clean your work surface thoroughly and make sure your hands and tools are clean as well before you begin. So, You mix it all together. You pour all this into a bowl and use the spoon to mix them all together, and it should be completely smooth when you're through. And they say if you want it thicker, add more aloe or thin it out by adding more alcohol. But so basically, this looks like all alcohol and aloe and some essential oil. I'm guessing just for scent, or because the aloe is to add moisture. Now,
Right.
there's the other one here. I suppose if you're going to do this with witch hazel, now I didn't know, okay, witch hazel, they say 1 cup of pure aloe vera gel and 1 1/2 teaspoons of witch hazel, 30 drops of tea tree oil, 5
Oh,
drops of essential oil.
well,
Yeah,
essential oil is any oil, isn't it?
yeah,
I mean,
such
as
as
long, I mean,
lavender.
that's
Yeah, yeah. Anything that is from the source, like 5 drops of like lavender or peppermint oil. I guess that's for scent. And a mixing bowl, spoon, funnel, plastic container. So I'm guessing here that the 30 drops of tea tree oil is what is going to be the disinfectant here. You know what I'm saying?
well,
Because
wait a
that
minute.
is,
So they don't add alcohol to that one?
yeah, that one is the witch hazel based solution. And they say, but they say right off the bat, witch hazel based solutions are not effective against viruses and bacteria. So
So
I guess if you want to make one that doesn't work, that's one with witch
no,
hazel.
no, that would be well.
But
Well, I
I guess
think
the alcohol one would be the thing to make. And of course, everything I've been hearing about, they say it needs, I mean, if you're not using soap and water, then you need, the alcohol, and it has to be very strong, I guess, to kill. If you're not going to do the soap for 20 seconds and, that thorough soap and water, if you need that hand sanitizer and you don't have access to water or soap, I'm guessing that it has to have enough alcohol in it to kill germs and virus. So, and plus the aloe, I'm guessing, of course, is to protect your skin, or to help make it
right.
less damaging. But I think, well, we do wash our hands a lot here at home, and I do a lot of the cooking, 90% of the cooking in the evening where I live. So I'm always really very careful with safe food handling methods. And, I also keep my hair out of my food as well. So in case you ever
It's
wondered
never
about
very
that.
tasty, that's for sure. It's just
No,
not.
people don't want to floss while they're eating. So,
Yeah.
it's
I
also a
I do want to
hazard.
say
You
hello
cannot
to
have you can't have your hair flying around while you're working around heat
yeah,
and ovens and burners. You're going to set yourself on fire. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh God. You
But
know,
that's how you can make it. And there's all sorts of recipes out there. But I'm guessing the ones that are the most effective are the ones that have the most alcohol in it. And I did hear on the news of people who do sell alcohol and spirits. They have actually they have retooled to make hand sanitizer. So um, it's interesting to see, but
you have
alcohol
to be
seems to
careful though
be,
because I went to the store. Well, first of all, I made my own because the stores were completely out of it. And I don't
yeah,
get that. I mean, something basic. And you're
because
going to
kills, it
grocery
kills your
shopping.
bacteria on your hands. Yeah,
When you go
yeah.
grocery shopping or when you need to make an essential trip, it seems as
Hmm.
if sanitizer is a must be. But I'm just always amazed how many stores still don't have a little tub with sanitizer wipes. Dollar General does not. A lot of
Oh yeah.
places I've gone do not
Well,
have
well,
that,
usually
and I'm
stores that
amazed.
sell meat, usually stores that sell meat have the little station where you can use hand sanitizer and wipes, and it's also like there's also for bagging the meat into plastic, an additional plastic bag before bringing it up, before putting it into your cart. That I've seen, and we have that in our supermarkets where I live. Usually, there's always in the meat section, because it's to get rid of the bloodborne pathogens or whatever, or the meat is gross. Um, but I'm guessing that there'll be more of these out in stores, but you're
Yeah, right
saying
around the
that,
time that we're all tipping, we've all
yeah,
gone
yeah,
flatline, and that's what makes me mad is
yeah,
none of us were ready for this, and so everything that is sold is. I went to the store with my husband. Obviously, he questions my personal sanitation fluid. I mean, I was like 60% alcohol with uh, maybe 20% aloe vera. It
oh,
wasn't it wasn't thick at all,
oh,
but at least it didn't dry your hands out so bad
right,
that
right,
your hands were cracked.
mm-hmm,
And he went to this one store and he says, "Look what I got," and he got two little um, those little water jugs you get that are teeny tiny? Somebody was
yeah,
selling these
yeah,
little mini water bottles full of this watery stuff that looked like pure alcohol for $3.
uh,
It was homemade. And I thought, no, wait a minute. Tell me what the difference is here. But, the thing is, there's a lot of people that are really
uh-huh,
getting into making it. And my friend Karen, who sells New Naturals, gave me a recipe also where she was adding also thieves. And
mm-hmm,
thieves is supposedly it kills 98% of bacteria and germs, and she also gave me a recipe where you could mix witch hazel and aloe vera with
mm-hmm,
alcohol and have a nice, pleasant smelling um, substance that you make yourself.
yeah.
I do want to say hello to Patrick,
I guess it has to be really
Joseph.
strong though with the alcohol. They
Yeah,
say you
it
really
has.
can't. It has to be a certain amount. So, um, I'm lucky. Yeah.
So we have Patrick, Joseph, Sarah, Jan, and Russell in our Achieve room.
Okay,
We have
great.
Pat in the phone room, and we'll take his first. He's from Delaware. And
Okay.
then I have not looked. Are you close to the video? Can you see if there's anybody in the video chat?
I don't see anybody here on the YouTube chat yet, or nobody
Okay.
said
All
anything
right.
yet.
Okay, so
Um,
we'll go to
yeah,
what we have.
you sound kind of staticky. You sound kind of fuzzy. How do I
Oh,
sound? Do I
well,
sound all
you
right?
sound great. You sound very good.
Okay, because I know
So
your mic
I,
sounds kind of fuzzy to me for
huh.
some reason. Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll know after the show.
Mhm.
So if we look at, um,
So who's next?
we will look at Pat from Delaware first.
Pat.
Okay,
Pat.
so
Okay.
hello, Pat. You're in the room, in the call room, and we love you guys that call.
Hey,
So, and
Pat.
then those of you who do want to call, it's 602 666 6027. Hello, Pat. Are you there?
Hi, Pat.
Pat. Pat is in the room, but evidently
Well, I'm going to pull
is
one
not.
card for Pat. What is the
All
card that
right.
Pat needs to focus on? And what I'm seeing, what is the tarot card that Pat needs to be concerned about? And what I drew here was Temperance, and Temperance landed upside down. And I would have to say that when Temperance is upside down, I would say that, I'd say you're being overwhelmed, and I see that perhaps you're having trouble juggling a lot of responsibilities at one time. It's sort of a very unsettling period for you. And actually, that's not surprising because it is very unsettling for all of us all around. Because of the COVID virus. I see that you're overcommitted, and I do see that you feel as though it could be that because of the COVID virus that you are overwhelmed and you're overextended. I do see that this is something that is dominant in your life. Um, I do see that you need to be careful that you get rest because this is the kind of a situation where a person is so scattered that accidents are likely to happen. So you are being told to be careful. And you will get through this, but you need to do. But in order to get through this, you need to be um, you need to react to the situations and the stimuli around you with calm and take that moment to calm your mind. Just as you know, whatever you're doing, whatever you're involved with, if you're in a situation where you have to move and have to act, well, you don't have time to think. But if you're in a situation where you have time to think about it, you'll be very upset. And you take these times to calm yourself. And that is how to get through it, is that I am seeing that temperament has been turned upside down for you, and you need to relax. That's what I'm seeing. That's the one card that Pat needs to think about. So whether it's Pat that is overextended or it's everyone around Pat, including Pat, and it's just very overwhelming. And this card acknowledges that, and actually is also a reminder to try to use the calm approach, try to use good humor, and try to be compassionate to everybody that you're dealing with because they too are overextended. So that's what I see for Pat. That's what I pulled up. Okay.
Pat, if you have been feeling lonely lately and the sense of disconnection has you feeling like you have lost your mission or purpose in life, you're not alone. The sense is that this is a very hard time for being single or even being in a relationship. It's hard on everyone. Your reading says don't allow insecurities to make you feel as if you are alone in the world. You are not. Understand that you will find things start picking up for you. Anything based around relationships in your life or career, you need to be aware that by, I'm going to say, June and July, you're going to feel like a brand new person, Pat. And so don't allow the disconnect either at work or in your life at this time as everything's closed down to get to you. I understand that this is a time where problems, we can get in our head so easily anyway, but you start cutting us off from all of the things that took us away from our inner chatter. And it's really difficult because that self-analogical nature, that self-beating up, can really get the best of us. But do understand this too will pass. And by, I'm going to say, May, June, you're starting to notice that things are getting much better. And that's what I see, Pat. Okay, we don't hear you to be able to have a question. We're sorry that there is no picture on the screen. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I'm sure that you can hear us. All right. I'm going to take the first person that I see. And if you will, Joseph, keep your eye on um, the other place,
Oh, YouTube,
our
yes.
yeah, YouTube.
Yeah.
And okay, so I am looking at the first reading, which is from Patrick. And he
Oh,
says, for Joseph and Anne Marie, my factory job keeps delaying the date to come back to work. Should I just look for something else? Company name is Tech. Any reading will help. Thank you, Patrick in Pennsylvania.
oh well, hmm. Well, what I got here for the present day for this is the Seven of Cups. And I am seeing I'm seeing that this is probably the job that you need to probably stick with for a while at this time. I don't think that it is a very realistic time for you to leave. And that is shown by the Seven of Cups, and they're all upside down, which means they're not holding very much for you. I do see I do see that a really bad decision to leave at this time. I would say it is something that you would need to wait on. I would say, though the action is necessary, I would say you would need to really plan for this. Um, I say probably within 7 months might be more realistic. So 7 months from now, or the month of seven, I'm looking at July, the seventh month, would be probably a good time to look for something else. Or if it's a
So,
job that's, yeah, I'm saying that at this time, it's just, I'm seeing that there's I don't think you're being realistic with yourself at this time. I think the situation is not going to be as accommodating as you might think. It is deceptive. It appears like it might be, but I'm not seeing that. Like I did, like as the card says, I would say wait on it. I see change happening, a better time for this happening in July. Okay, that's the way it came to me. Like I said, it's seven of cups, and they're all upside down. They're not holding anything. They're not. So,
okay.
yeah, that's what I'm seeing. So, Anne Marie, what do you say about that? What do you think about
What
that?
I have is you're a hard worker, and
Hmm.
people really do appreciate you, Patrick, at what you do. But your reading says that the time to look for another job is later because you may go from the fry pan to the fire. You may find that, oh my goodness, I need to find another job. This is scary. But what happens when we make impulsive choices based on crisis is that sometimes we make the wrong decision. Sometimes it's good just to hunker down and wait another month before you make that decision. Because I'm shown that by May, you may decide, okay, everything's going good. Now, here's the thing, Patrick. The government's sending out checks to those that are unemployed, like you, right now, and that check will be coming to help you get by. I also feel that your job is still going to be there for you and is going to be secure. But I also want to tell you, do not, if you're feeling in any way stagnant in your job, then don't hesitate. Go for it. Find something that makes you feel excited. Sometimes a new job can do that, But I don't think right now is that time because basically the only jobs that are going to be open, Patrick, are probably the ones that are all filled with seniority, and they're the people that are worried as hell that someone like you is going to come along and they don't need you right now to take their job away from them. So when I
Mhm.
look at what comes up, I have exercise your vibes. In other words, check your vibes. What are you feeling? Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling panicked? Give them some sit ups, give them some push ups, strengthen yourself. Try not to make any hasty decisions right now. Your vibes need a workout,
There
they
you go.
need some exercising. Okay, that's
Mhm.
what I have.
Cool.
Cool. Okay, we have Joseph. Joseph says, hello, can I please have a 3 month financial reading? Thanks.
Oh, well, cool. 3 months. Wow. So you're hoping for something probably by June or July. Some improving there. I do see in the past with the Ten of Wands. I do see there was some frustration. Um, you're doing the same thing for too long, yada yada, stuff like that, and that's in your past, and you definitely need something else. Now,
Sounded
what I see in the present time is the Queen of Swords, and this is a very helpful woman. And if now, because your question has to do with finances, and I do see here that you have someone helping you out or someone that's going to be very beneficial to you regarding this issue. Could be your boss, it could be your accountant, it could be, well, perhaps it could be a spouse even who is very good with this sort of thing. But this is a very balanced woman. She's very, she's wise, and she could find humor in a lot of things. She's got a good sense of humor, very balanced. She's very intelligent, very analytical. Um, I would say this is somebody who she's a good director of things, and she's honest. So this what you have in the present time, this person, this really well-adjusted, honest person is going to really help you out. I do see her working at this, or you're going to meet her very soon, or it could be this person that you have an appointment with regarding your finances. But I do see that she is someone that is very, very helpful. And I do see um, that, yeah, you're going to always kind of have to worry about money a little bit. I will say I do see that, yes, you will have some wealth in the near future. I see that by the Ten of Pentacles. Your finances will start looking pretty good. I don't expect it to be like a landslide, but let's just say that they'll be doing better. But you're also cautioned to not to get involved with high risk things, okay? And if you do come into money, I'd say like a lot of money and stuff like that, any kind of money, I'd say everyone's going to know it and everyone's going to try to take it from you with all sorts of dumb ideas for you to invest in. And you're being told to watch out for that, okay? And that's later on. All right, Anne Marie, what do you see?
um, I'm going to be quite honest with you. I see that your finances are like a boomerang, like a roller coaster. There, here's what it says: April. This is seen as the month where you are right side up. This means happily harvesting your investments. Guess what? It's upside down. So that
Ooh,
says to me, really watch out. This is not a good month to splurge on anything. When I look at May for finances, this is what comes up. May shows you imprisoned by your bills. So in May, just pay your bills and be sure to
Yeah.
call the people that you cannot make payments with and tell them that you have to make a little less or you have to wait a month because this is the time that these bill collectors want to be the good guy. They don't want to be the asshole. So they are going to work with you more than any other time, probably in your entire life, as when the coronavirus is going on. And the last thing I see, um, mm, and I hate to say this to you, this is what comes up for July or June. June says, whatever you do, don't spend money on a crazy vacation or do something that would stab yourself in the back or give your money away to somebody who won't pay you back. Now, here's the great part. In July, boink, everything picks up. You're the king. In August, boink, passionate finances. So I'm going to say
Oh,
that July and August starts your financial security, but in April, May, and June, be super, super, super careful. That's what I see. Okay, so if I look at who we have in our room, what we have is Sarah. And Sarah says, and she's from Kentucky,
Sarah.
she says she just wants an organic reading.
Okay, Sarah. Organic reading.
An organic reading means tell it like it is. Don't pull
Oh,
any
well, that's what
punches
we do.
of sugarcoating. Just give
Oh,
it
we don't
like it is.
sugarcoat. Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
sugarcoat. I don't pick the cards. You get the cards that you get. That's just it. You get what. Oh my! I do see in your past we have the Magician, and it's one of my favorite cards because, especially if it's right side up, because this tells me that you're the kind of person who's always been you're very well suited for business, science, tech, anything that uses the mind, creativity. Um, you are a person that is able to make things work because you have a natural common sense that a lot of people really don't have. Believe it or not, they don't have it, and you take it for granted that you have it. Granted, but uh, you have always had this ability to just make everything work. You could turn a sow's ear into a silk purse. Really, you really can do a lot. And I see at the present time we have the moon, and the moon is upside down. So I'm seeing that you're using your creativity and your imagination, but you're in a dark mood while you're doing all this. And I do see that maybe you're a bit depressed, and of course that is something that a lot of people are. You are not alone if you are depressed, and I'm guessing it's the sort of thing that it's the situation in addition to whatever else it might be, or it could just simply be the situation that we're all in. Many people were on the verge of doing wonderful things when this happened and everything shut down, and so no one's spending money or no one's out buying anything. So I do see that this possibly has hurt. Um, I do see that maybe perhaps um, this sort of thing and these limitations might actually just be they might either be the inspiration of your creativity or they're being reflected in it, and it is simply a dark sort of a dark mood that you're in. This card recommends that you take a break from education or take a break from trying to tax your brain with something. It's that if you are in a creative field or trying to do something creative, trying to do some sort of calculations, trying to continue with education, it might help to take a break from perhaps hearing bad news or just try to find ways to meditate, to relax your mind before sleep so that you can get proper rest, which is also good for your emotions and your mentality. And you'd be surprised how crazy a person can think when they're under a lot of stress and they're not getting very much sleep. It's very hard. So think about what you're allowing yourself to be bombarded with. The news is important. What's going on around us is certainly very important, but there's a point in your day where you have to allow yourself to rest, and your mind needs to rest as well, so that you can continue thinking properly in the right frame of mind. So I do see that, and this way, if you do that for yourself, this will keep you from spiraling downward. That's how we do it, is that we take this time out to, and people can say, how could you possibly enjoy yourself during the, you have to. You have to take time out to do something fun and take your mind off of whatever it is that's bothering you, and plus the current thing that's bothering us as well. This is probably a good time for you to continue to create and work on things as long as we're careful, and to build up your materials so that you have something to sell when times improve. And also this will allow you to come up with something new, a solution to the problems that are restricting you. You may find solutions as you relax yourself. So I do recommend meditation, and that will keep you from going down into the pits of a darker mood. What do you say, Anne Marie?
That makes sense because what I got, Joseph, was Sarah needs to learn to call on her joy guides. And what that means is just like what you said, learn how to have fun with less. During this time of the pandemic, learn to be playful and let yourself maybe do some things that you thought about doing and learning, uh, but you didn't do it. It says cloak yourself in light, and what that means is stay positive. You have a lot of inner joy, a lot of inner light, and right now, what I'm shown, Sarah, is that your organic reading says you're learning to be a survivor. You're learning how to, this is a reset button. It's a reset button for all of us. And we're learning how to have fun with less, and we're learning how to enjoy our simplified time. We're learning how to create. I like what you said, Joseph, about creating.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
they say this is a time that people should be writing down everything that they are going through during the pandemic because this is
right.
history, guys. This is history. So, whatever thoughts you have about the pandemic, and if you're thinking about writing a novel or you're thinking about doing something creative, artistically, or learning how to work on the computer, whatever, um, doing something singular that has to do with your memoirs of the pandemic are going to be greatly researched later on in life because 10 years from now, 20 years from now, they're going to want to know what we went through. And I know for myself, I'm doing the extraordinarily unusual. I'm writing a novel about a psychic that reads for a serial killer during the pandemic. And so each chapter in between talks about the pandemic and what's going on in relation to what's going on
Wow.
with this serial
Hmm.
killer and the psychic. So I'm having a blast. And if all the stores and all the things were open right now, I'd be doing them because I'd always be
Mm,
tempted. Right now, I'm more likely to be disciplined to sit on my butt.
mm.
And I think I can wham out a book in 4 months. And I think that any of you could too. And I think this is the time to do it. So, Sarah, in relation to your reading, call on your joy guides and learn how to be a survivor during this. You're going to make it, girl. You're going to do just fine. That's what I see. Okay.
So who's next?
Our next one
543.
is Jan. Oh,
Jan.
Jan. Hi, Anne Marie and Joseph. Hope you both are well. May
Hi,
I
Jan.
have a reading on my employment for the next month or anything you see in general? I've been working remotely from home. Gosh, so many people are, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, actually, some of us have always done that and have not seen a change because of that.
Right.
And
Yes.
then some, and to people who don't go out much, they have noticed things, but it's not as difficult as it is for those who are used to going out frequently. So let's just see
Hmm.
what we have here in store for just a Jan, is it?
Yes, Jan.
Okay, I just wanted to see here. What does Jan need to think about? And
And
well,
it
I
doesn't
do
have to be
see
about employment.
Jan coming away from a time. What we have here is the devil upside down. You see that for a time in the past, there were some decisions being made that weren't the greatest. It wasn't. It just seemed like perhaps uh, you just simply weren't in a position to. It seemed like a lot of emotions, and there's a lot of aggression at this time in your life, and that was just something that came to an end. It looks like it was a bad relationship, maybe. That just wasn't. It wasn't a good. It wasn't. Sometimes there are fiery, passionate relationships that look insane and seem insane, but they're fine. They're perfectly fine because they suit the people involved. And this was one that wasn't suitable for both of you. It was passionate, but it just wasn't suitable for both of you. I do see at the present time, I see a woman in your life. In some way. I don't know why she's there. I don't think it has to do with the romance. She's the Queen of Wands, and she's upside down. So I do see her as she's sort of a cold, attractive person in your life. She plays games. And I do see that she is someone that knows how to get what she wants by being manipulative. And she's kind of on the frosty side, self absorbed. I wouldn't say she was an evil person, but I'd say this is somebody who probably isn't going to be helpful because really it's all about her. So actually, it's whether or not it's her own career she thinks about. I would say that it is she's really just she's got her own agenda, and it's somebody that at the present day. Could be that maybe it's your boss. It could be that maybe she's not planning on staying, or maybe she is only thinking about how she would advance within the company or within the situation, and doesn't really care about anybody else that she is working with. So that's something to keep in mind because a lot of people are like that. I've had supervisors like that, and they just simply caused a bunch of problems, and then they went on their merry way as they advanced themselves out of the picture, and then they left everyone else holding the bag. So you are being cautioned against getting too involved or dependent or counting on that person. You have to count on yourself. That's what you need to do. I do see in the Five of Swords down the line um, that that things might seem uncertain and that you might not be happy with the job that you're in or the one that you're going to get. But I'd say once you focus more on yourself And actually, I'm taking this as a cue. Take it as a cue from now this other person here that you're dealing with. They're all about themselves. Well, maybe that's what you need to be. Okay, because it seems like you're kind of counting on somebody else talking you up. You have to do all this yourself. And then I see it working out as long as you focus on looking out for yourself. Okay, with this job. Because that's what everybody else is doing around you. You may as well realize that. So you have to focus on you, because otherwise you'll just be the nice guy that finishes last, and that's how it's going to be. So that's what we see in your cards. It means you have to be a little more aggressive, perhaps, and maybe you haven't been selfish enough all this time. It's time to be tooting your own horn, and to take credit for the things that you have done and stop making other people look good because they won't do diddly for you. They'll just say, "Thank you very much. I look great. I get the promotion. Bye bye." Okay? So, well, yeah.
All
So,
right. So,
that's what
Jan,
happens.
yep, that sure does.
Yeah.
Jan, you're learning how to, I'm just going to read what I just wrote. And I
Okay.
and I looked
Go
at
ahead.
from what I wrote in your cards. It says you're learning how to work in the future through your retirement days by working remotely from home.
Yeah. Cool.
This has been a blessing for you. It's as
Yeah.
if your angels are leading you into your future
Yeah.
with a taste of what's to come, retirement and remote work. And as Joseph says, this is about doing more for yourself and learning how to focus on making it on your own. This is where it's leading to, Jan, and you need to understand this is all kind of like a wake up call for you. So we have Russell in our last one
Oh, hi,
and
Russell.
says, "Is all is well in my life?"
Well, is all well in your life, but how does it feel to you, Russell? I
Let's hear
kind
it.
of
Tell
wonder.
him.
Oh, well, um, well, I do see that at this time, it looks like you have an invitation from a page. It's a page of swords. And what has he got to say? He's upside down. And this is a young man, somebody unpredictable and difficult to understand. Oh, this is somebody who exaggerates and goes on and on about all the wonderful things that they do and all the exciting times that they have, and actually they kind of exaggerate. So if you're looking for a skilled person, or if you're looking for sincerity, the person that you now know or just met, they might be fun, but actually they're kind of childish, and they tell stories, they make things up. It's not like they're not liars. It's just that they kind of see the world in a way that nobody else does.
Don't we
So
know that?
um, yeah, they don't. I don't think they really mean any harm, but I'd say this is not the one that I would say is going to be. This is not the consultant type for you. This is just somebody that you can just, maybe have a good time with, and then I would say just laugh a lot and take it all with a grain of salt, because probably half of what you're hearing isn't true. And even it's probably so visual to them that they probably think it is true, because believe me, they do have an imagination. But I do see that in the future, in terms of work, because it's the rods, I see you need to work out for people cheating you at work. You just um, or you're being uh,
Too
cautioned
gullible?
against don't do something illegal or underhanded because somebody else is doing that and you felt you have to do that to get even. Don't take that route. Okay, that's what you're being cautioned of. When you deal with deceitful, dishonest people, and you're going to be dealing with that at work, I see it with wands in your near future. So I would say you take the high road and you stay above board, because a lot of times that is you're going to be your one saving grace when you deal with these creeps, is that you're the one that's honest, and make sure that people know that, and they'll see it. They'll see it. Most people will are aware of this, but you see, if you take the low road, like what they're doing to get even with them, you'll get caught right away. That will be the focus, and all your credibility will go out the window because of what you did. They'll zero in that one thing that you did. And even if it's the first time ever that you've done this, that's why I'm cautioning you, don't resort to the low road, because they will focus in on that, and that's how they get you. Okay. So that's
Mm-mm-mm.
what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. So watch out for that. If you think people are playing games with you, watch what you say to people. Don't tell them all your everything that you have in your mind. Don't, you treat them, they are work people, so you treat them like that. And you keep your personal life to yourself. And if you have big plans for the place that you're working at, you don't share it with anybody until the big reveal is ready. And then you
The
make your
big
move.
reveal.
Okay? And you keep your big reveal to yourself until the day when you're ready, because otherwise somebody's just going
Mm-mm-mm.
to steal your ideal. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, they every
So,
time.
right. So that's what you do. You keep your mouth shut and you play along. You do your job. You stay honest, and don't get involved with the gossip. Don't get involved with doing something that you kind of don't feel right about, and don't let yourself get something that you normally do
Okay, I better
under
I better
under
add
your
mine
own,
because we're going to end here
counsel.
pretty soon. I have 2 minutes.
Okay, go
Okay,
on.
um,
Go on.
Russell, your
You're
reading
next.
says, stick to the basics of your life. Who are you? How were you raised? What is it that you know for sure is the ethical way to live? What is it that you know from your own life experiences that gets you in trouble? Just as Joseph said, understand that when you're trying to get a new life story, don't be taking on someone else's life story, which goes along with what Joseph said. If someone is too good to be true, it is. So stick to what you know from life experience to be your truth. And lastly, it says, once you know for sure that you have taken the high road, like Joseph says, and you still find yourself beating yourself up because you didn't do it like someone else did, walk it off. That too will pass. Okay? That's what I've got. All right. So I don't know if we have a time for a little prayer there, Joseph, but let's do it.
Sure we do. Sure we do. Okay. I bring the cosmic forces into my being, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. I bring the cosmic forces into my being, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. I bring the cosmic forces into my being, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. Protect us with your white light. Shield us with your white light. Help us make the proper, safe decisions, and help us to do well. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
See you next week, Joseph.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Psychic radio, holistic radio, spiritual radio. This is achieveradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/achieveradio.
Hi, I'm Anne Marie. Welcome to Achieve Holistic, Spiritual, and Self-Improvement Psychic Radio. Here's a tip. Pull back your shoulders, lift up your rib cage, and tuck in your butt. Aligning your chakras will help you to absorb a more positive state of mind, be able to show a more confident nature, which brings back smiles and more opportunities in a positive way in your life.